All right, here we go.
As you mentioned, this match wrapped up in favor of Maryland. They'll start 3-0 in Big Ten play.
Stay off the throat.
It's number 13, Seth Nevills, going up against the redshirt sophomore, Gannon Rosenfeld, heavyweight from North Mankato, Michigan. Up to the big guns here for Nevills, 12-1 in the season. Only loss of the year came over the weekend in a ranked decision loss to Michigan's Heinzel men.
Work the score. Get out of that grip. Good.
Nevills settling in his second-year transfer out of Penn State. And head coach Chris Bono remembers wrestling against Nevills 5 years ago when Nevills was in Happy Valley, a guy who brings a ton of experience to a now diverse roster with Maryland, a good amount of experience, but these freshmen getting a lot of lineup time.
Absolutely, and for Wisconsin, we talked about it with Coach Bono 2 days ago, how this team, their biggest growth has been believing in themselves. We've seen that throughout the night with Rivera having a big win, then Anderson, Condon having big wins back-to-back, but still getting better each day, with each bout, each duel is big for this program as they continue to build on the success that they've had in non-conference play and now working into Big Ten play. Still some struggles, some kinks to work out, but still early. Just the second duel, second matchup of Big Ten play for the Badgers.
Still growing pains, still a young season as Wisconsin will fall to 4-6 on the season with a loss here at Maryland. But again, a really young roster, as you mentioned, and head coach Chris Bono said. And the experience now of you get manhandled, as Bono said, on your home gym by Iowa, and then you travel to one of the hottest teams in the Big Ten. Maryland, who has a 2-0 start for the first time in Big Ten play ever. And they hung tough right up until the second to last bout at 197. Now Rosenfeld working here with Nevills, still no score, looking to keep that score competitive here on the way out.
Still a big bout, nonetheless, for both sides.
Never a bad time when the heavyweights take the mat, right?
Absolutely not. But two guys that have had a lot of success this year as well.
Rosenfeld 6-3 on the season. Again, he hung really tough with Iowa's Cuter, the number 12 wrestler at heavyweight. It was a major decision, but kept it close, especially at the beginning. There was no scoring there.
Hey, where we going? Top on move to the fur. Where you going? Defer. Red defers. Green's going bottom. Green bottom.
Nevills starts on bottom.
Wait. Bottom man set.
Seth was one of 5 NCAA qualifiers for Maryland from a year ago, and he's got his sights set on that championship again. He'll be in Philly in late March. Someone who's now got a bigger sample size at Maryland after injuries and derailed that first season as a Terp. Rosenfeld's coming in quickly.
One.
Working on the right
two,
side.
We're up. One.
Pulled out by Nevills, gets that escape point. And those can be the difference makers in these heavyweight, typically low scoring bouts between the big men.
Offense, fellas.
Rosenfeld goes for the double leg, ends up grabbing Nevills a bit higher. Now trying to pull the big man off the mat. Nevills trying to spin around. The crowd wants 3. The crowd gets 3 for Seth Nevills.
Now he's starting to get that confidence. The crowd's starting to get back into it a little bit. It was a little bit of a stale start for both of these guys in the first period. Rosenfeld still looking for some momentum, but Nevills in full control as the night winds down.
And that was the biggest difference. The head coach Alex Clemson noticed that of Nevills from year 1 to year 2. Says his confidence is back. It's high and he's having a lot of fun wrestling again, something that might not have been the case in just 3 dual matches he was able to compete in his first season at Maryland. 4-0 lead for Seth Nevills over Gannon Rosenfeld.
Warning red.
Redshirt sophomore on bottom as Nevills adds on the riding time from the heavyweights' his first and only takedown so far. Again, Chase Mielnick put the nail in the coffin for Wisconsin. So this is a match already wrapped up in favor of Maryland. But Seth Nevills adding on the takedowns, and it comes with the quick turnaround from the big man.
Bending the corner, the wraparound with the leg. He already had one of those legs trapped as well. Perfect form right there by the heavyweight Nevills.
Rosenfeld throws Nevills off. And back to it in the neutral position.
Fingers.
Nevills no longer supporting that right brace that he had to wear last year with the shoulder injury. Again, a lot of strides taken in the offseason for Nevills to be back healthy.
I feel like that's a thing that a lot of the Maryland guys had to deal with. A lot of the Wisconsin guys have had to deal with as well, coming back from injury, maybe suffering injuries this year, other guys having to step up. That's part of the sport. A lot of times you'll have those medical red shirts and other guys have to step up. Both of these lineups this year are flooded with guys that have had the experience, but also that have had to step up previously and might be having to step up now. We've seen that play out throughout the night, and to go in this heavyweight battle, it's going to be 2 guys down the stretch that are going to have to play big roles for their respective squads, in Nevills for Maryland and Rosenfeld for Wisconsin.
Nevills goes on the right leg, another takedown. Clemson wants him to keep the pressure on. Nevills goes back down. 7-0 in favor of the Terp. Nevills adding on that riding time. The final 5 seconds will tick down. Maryland fans will raise their feet as today, a day over a decade in the making. For the first time since joining the Big Ten, Maryland has 3 conference wins on its resume and 3 consecutive to start the year.